Hey guys, welcome back to another video where I'm bringing you another cryptocurrency news article. This one's brought to you by Cointelegraph, and it is Bitcoin miners believe global hash rates to grow aggressively. So let's dive right on into this article. Despite the price of BTC, the Bitcoin network is the strongest it's ever been, according to industry experts. So look at that, it's got some miners right here. But BTC Bitcoin seems to be on everyone's mind lately, as the world recently witnessed the price of BTC take a rather unsuspected bearish turn this month. On January 21st, 2022, Bitcoin reached its 6-month low, sinking below 40,000 for the first time in months. But while some panicked, other industry experts pointed out that Bitcoin network has become verifiably stronger than ever before the growth of the Bitcoin network has become apparent, as a hash rate figures for BTC continues to set new highs this month. For example, on January 22nd, the BTC network recorded an all-time high of 26.643 trillion with an average hash rate of 190.71 exahashes per second. The hash rate will continue to grow, which is a good thing. Samir Taber, Chief Strategy Officer at BitDigital, a publicly listed Bitcoin miner, told Cointelegraph that the BTC hash rate refers to the amount of computing power being contributed to the network at any given time. Tabar also explained that when it comes to Bitcoin mining, a higher hash rate equates to a good hash rate. The more computing power going towards maintaining a network, the more secure it will be, and the more transactions it will be able to handle, said Tabar. As such, the recent hash rate figures for Bitcoin are extremely notable, even with the price of Bitcoin being down. Peter Wall, CEO of the crypto mining firm Argo Blockchain, told Cointelegraph that he was surprised to see the BTC hash rate hit close to 200 exahashes per second. Wall further stated that even with events that have recently disrupted BTC mining, hash rates like the political upheaval in Kazakhstan, the hash rate will continue to grow higher each month. Argo Blockchain mining margin last year in 2021, which is our revenue minus our direct costs, was over 80%. It was a very good year for miners. In 2020, where BTC prices were much lower, our margin was 41%. So this year, I think we will see strong margins in the space despite the recent drop in the price of Bitcoin and the increase in the hash rate. Darren Feinstein, co-founder and chairman of Core Scientific, a major publicly traded blockchain infrastructure provider, told Cointelegraph that based on previous Bitcoin mining hash rate data, the BTC network grew by over 200% following the mass exodus of miners from China. The Bitcoin network 1 year ago was approximately 143 EHs per second. Following the mining ban in China, the network fell to 63 exahashes per second, and now back to today, the hash rate has grown approximately to 198 exahashes per second. This recent increase represents three important metrics. One, it represents a 130 exahash rate increase on the network. Two, it represents 130 exahashes of new hosting infrastructure and primarily new generation hardware deployment. And three, this deployment has taken place in a geographic regions that use far cleaner energy than the energy used in China. So boom. And with this in mind, Feinstein noted that even though the BTC network has hit all-time highs in terms of EHs per second, due to the massive improvements in miner chip technology and geographic distribution away from China, the network is now the most efficient and sustainable than it has ever been. Feinstein added that this data is important because it shows how much energy every terahash uses, which is generally represented by a metric called joules/terahash. He noted that this ratio has fallen greatly over the last several years, demonstrating a major increase in mining energy efficiency. So yeah, Bitcoin mining is technology intensive. It has increased 58x in efficiency over 8 years. Very nice, and just getting better. Now, will infrastructure support network growth? Michael Levitt, co-founder and chairman and CEO of Core Scientific, told Cointelegraph that he fully anticipates for BTC global hash rate to continue growing at an aggressive pace. However, Levitt mentioned that this growth is dependent on the price of Bitcoin moving forward, along with the success of the infrastructure currently being built. The amount of the infrastructure expected will be challenged by global supply chain issues, he remarked. Feinstein added that the infrastructure is the biggest challenge when it comes to mining Bitcoin. The bottlenecks for Bitcoin mining are land, energy, equipment, and lastly, infrastructure. There is plenty of ASIC hardware to be purchased, Energy and land are also readily available, but miners need to plug in power, and historically, that is where miners run into issues, he commented. North America has become one of the largest Bitcoin mining hubs as per data from the Cambridge Bitcoin Electricity Consumption Index, which shows that 35% of the average monthly BTC hash rate comes from the United States, while 10% comes from Canada, while explaining that North America has taken the lead as a global Bitcoin mining hub for a number of reasons. This is the case due to the region's crypto-friendly jurisdictions, its stable regulatory environment, pro-innovation nature, and most importantly, access to the most important thing miners need, low-cost power, preferably renewable. Wall elaborated that the low cost of the power in the US have been significant for miners, especially when organizations tap into the right part of the power grid. We've seen significant growth in Texas over the last 12 months, he said. Cointelegraph previously reported that Bitcoin mining industry in Texas consumed around 500 to 1,000 megawatts of power during November 2021. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas reportedly anticipates that the demand could increase as much as fivefold by 2023 and has planned an additional 3,000 to 5,000 megawatts. Wall elaborated that miners are moving to Texas due to the fact that the state operates its own power grid, and that consists of high degree of power from sustainable generation sources, but needs more flexible demand or load. Miners can provide a consistent load that is flexible. It is also helpful that Texas has demand response programs in place where miners will shut down and give power back to the grid. When there is a high demand, this makes the grid more resilient. Now, benefits such as these have prompted Argo Blockchain to build its next 200 megawatt facility in Dickens County, West Texas, directly next to the 5.5 gigawatt substation. There's a lot of congestion and at that substation, and they need local load to relieve it. The power from West Texas needs to go a long way to reach a major urban cities like Dallas and Houston. But we can use that energy much closer to where it's being generated, that relives the congestion, remarked Wall. By drawing power from a nearby substation, Argo Blockchain is demonstrating that the use of sustainable energy, according to Wall, the mining company has been carbon negative since 2020. This is important, as Tabar stated that a massive environmental, social, and governance movement is currently facing the crypto mining industry. Miners must draw from clean sources of power or else they will be regulated out of business. It can't also always be about the cheapest source of power. Miners will eventually suffer valuations discounts if they use dirty power. Even that source is cheap. Now, the perks of going public. A rush of mining firms to go public is another trend in the Bitcoin mining industry. It is likely to witness this year. Most recently, Texas-based Bitcoin mining company Rhodium announced plans to offer 7.6 million shares at $12 to $14 each in an initial public offering. Core Scientific went public on January 20th after merging with a power and digital infrastructure acquisition in a SPAC transaction. Although shares of Core Scientifics have fallen since then, Feinstein mentioned that every publicly listed crypto company like Coinbase, Galaxy Digital, and others bring institutional investment opportunities to the U.S. market. This is enhancing and bringing credibility to the entire industry, he remarked. Levitt added that the Bitcoin miners going public brings about numbers of benefits, including better access to capital or having publicly traded equity that can be used for acquiring and building other businesses. Moreover, Levitt added that having a public presence is useful for conversations in and around the financial services industry. However, the principal benefits is much ready to access to capital for growing and developing our businesses, said Levitt. So, what an article. But yeah. Hash rate is booming for Bitcoin. You got companies flocking to America, which holds a lot of the hashing mining rate going on because, yeah, China banned it and then they just geographically moved. Russia said they were going to, but hey, when they left China, they moved to the next closest country that was okay, and that was Russia. So that's why Putin stepped in and said, no, there's a future in Bitcoin mining. And yeah, so it's all about clean energy being used for this proof of work mechanism and whatnot. But yeah, so that's that article for you. I hope you guys liked it. Just hash rate is growing aggressively, and they're expecting a lot more in the coming years. So be ready. Look into it, see if it's good for you. If not, recommend staking through nodes, so some other ways of passive income. But that's just another way to earn some money in the crypto world. So guys, I hope you liked this article. If you did, thumbs up it, share with your friends, subscribe, And as always, the Crypto Sherpa will see you in the next video.